Earlier this week, though, the PCA Awards took place in London, with England's Emma Lamb named Women's Player of the Year, Jordan Cox taking the men's prize, Rehan Ahmed the men's Young Player Award, and Davina Perrin was named Young Women's Player of the Year. We sent our keen young reporter Adam Mountford behind the scenes at the event to speak to some of the winners, as well as England women's players Maya Bouchier and Mahika Gore, and men's players Harry Brook and Bryden Cars. But first, Adam caught up with young women's star player Davina Perrin, who provided one of the highlights of the summer with her century in the 100 Eliminator at the Oval.
Well, Davina, many congratulations. A special award for you tonight, and voted by your peers. How special is that?
So special, honestly. It means all the more, like you said, to be voted for by your peers. Like teammates, opposition at times. It means a lot knowing that they've recognised something that I've did, or I've done, get my grammar correct. And yeah, it's so special because they see the hard work, supposed hard work that I'm putting in. They see the effort that I'm putting in, and yeah, it's just all in all just very, very nice, I guess.
I mean, how do you sum up the last 12 months?
Not on my bingo card, I can tell you that much. Yeah, that's all I can say. I think as a whole for the women's game, it's been an unbelievable year, an unbelievable season. I think the introduction of the new domestic setup has proven to be very beneficial for us all, and I have that to thank, I guess.
Let me take you back to that day at the Oval, the Eliminator. I'm sure you'll never forget it. Did you have any inkling at the start of that day what might happen? Was it a day you woke up and thought, do you know, I'm feeling in good nick today?
I tell you what, no. I slept through my alarm, so I don't think that's a sign of good nick about to happen. But it's fine because I made it on the bus on time, so no qualms. Yeah, no, I think I knew I was in a alright frame of mind, but what happened next was, I don't think anyone could have predicted that, which sometimes makes it all the more special, doesn't it?
Have you ever felt like that batting before?
I think as a cricketer, you always try and replicate a state of flow. You always try and find that state of flow, and when you're in it, you just know like that's your time to cash in. And I guess on that day there was a point where I'd played a shot. I think I'd took it off my hip over square, and I thought, oh, I better cash in now, and especially on a day like that. But I don't typically take myself ahead of where I am. I'm very imminent on staying in the present, staying in the here and now, taking every ball as it comes and just letting it flow. And I think that's for me when I'm at my best. And fortunately, I might have done all right on that day. Yeah,
might have done all right. And you must have read and heard the sort of things people were saying about innings when everyone in the cricketing world was commenting about it.
Yes, they were. I think the big thing for me is, especially when you've got final the following day, it's how can I stay away from the noise and find time to be with the ones I love. So seeing my family after the game, spending time with them. I mean, they were a few drinks deep, so they were going crazy up there in that on the balcony, and seeing my friends, you know. Social media, and it's obviously, I appreciate a lot of the kind words that were said. It was obviously when I got the chance to read it and hear some of the things which I just not typically heard through my parents saying, you know, this person said that, you know, this person said that. It means a lot and I appreciate it, but I think the important thing for me is staying away from that and not getting ahead of myself, you know.
And your parents was getting as much screen time as you were?
As much, I think they got more. Yeah, they love it. They love the game. They love being there. They get stuck in. Honestly, they were the only people I could hear. I'd play a shot and I'd go down to ADR at the other end and be like, "Can you hear my family? Can you hear? I can hear them. Oh my gosh, they're on the screen. What's going on?" And I love it. I do love it.
Now, obviously, you know, these things make headlines. You're start of your career, but you know that people are immediately thinking, look, you know, after that, surely England is the next in your mind. I mean, are you starting to think like that, or are you just trying to keep your feet on the ground?
I mean, I think in sports in general, in cricket especially, you got to just control the controllables, what's within my almost area to control. And for me, that's how do I get better, how do I take my game to the next level, and how do I keep moving the women's game forward. And they're the three things I'm really focusing on. because they are things that I like to think I do have control over. So that's sort of where my head's at the minute.
But are you sort of watching the World Cup at the moment and the girls out there in India and Sri Lanka and thinking, you know, I fancy a bit of that at some point in the future?
I like to think as a little girl, you grow up with dreams and aspirations to represent your country one day. I think when I was little, the only form of professional cricket for women was to represent your country. So that was always there somewhere. But I think more so than anything, I'm watching the way that the girls are doing in the World Cup, and I'm going, fair play, you're smashing it right now. I just hope that continues, and I hope that they can, you know, push the Aussies to a side for a sec, because they're doing too much.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment. And just a word for Ace and the work of Ebony Rainford-Brent, because obviously we know that played a big part in your sort of development. How important was that for you, and how important do you think the whole ACE programme is?
Yeah, so important. I think to have a platform for those who have limited, access to cricket for whatever reason, particularly, the black and ethnic minority community. I think that's so important, and I think it's been pivotal for myself. Like, it's filled a gap that I didn't know was missing, in terms of knowing that there is a community there for me within the game. Of course, like, I've come across so many amazing environments, and I appreciate everything that the game's had to offer and everything that it's brought to my life, but I think the ACE program's only added to that for myself, and I like to think it's done that for so many young kids, and adults, across the board. I'm hoping that we can see them change, not just the cricketers that are stepping out onto the pitch, whether it be club level or elite level, but also the backroom staff behind that. I've seen a lot of great coaches who are yet to receive opportunities, whether it's other people who do strength and conditioning or go into other factors. I think once we see that backroom staff representing our day-to-day life on the street, that will also, I think that's something we just shouldn't let brush under the rug, and I think that will be really important going forward too.
Well said, and what a special year for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's PCA Young Player of the Year, Davina Perrin. I'm sure she'll be part of an England team very shortly. Someone who's been part of the England setup in recent times is Maya Bouchier, but she missed out on selection narrowly for the World Cup, and I asked her how her last 12 months have been.
Yeah, I think it's been a whirlwind 12 months. I think, of course, hard start of the season, but it ended on a real high, actually, personally, and as a team. I think as a Hampshire team and an England team, I think we did really well.
And in terms of what's going on in the women's game at the moment, obviously there's the World Cup happening. I know you'd obviously like to be involved out there, but how are you sort of following it, and how do you think it's going from an England point of view?
Yeah, I think really strong. It looks like the girls are working really hard just behind the scenes, and that's all we want to do, and we want to show to people. So yeah, I think they're doing really well in and around the batting and the middle order which we've worked on before, and I think they're continuing to work on. And yeah, different pitches, different conditions is always a challenge, but I think if they go out there and they play their best cricket, they could get to that final and win it.
And the fact that you've had success recently playing for England but can't get in the team at the moment shows the sort of strength in that team, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so competitive now, and you really have to reflect on your own game a lot more, and I think this season has been a real learning curve for me. I just want to be performing at the highest and the best I can, and by doing that and by working really hard outside to get back into the team, I think that's all I can really do.
What has Charlotte Edwards said to you?
Yeah, I think it's more just, if I can stay in, bat long, especially in the 50 over game, I think I can do that a bit more. In the second part of the season, I did that a bit more, which I was really happy with. And obviously, getting consistency is the most important thing. So, going into next season, I think that's what I can really do better, and hopefully this winter can help me do that.
And I think what's happened with someone like Emma Lamb, I suppose, is her domestic form has shown she's got back in the England team on the basis of that if you do score those runs, you've got that chance of getting yourself back in there.
Yeah, I definitely think it's more recognisable now, and you do well in domestic cricket and you perform at a good level, or a very competitive level now, because the teams are getting more competitive and the standard is getting better. I think that's what you need to show, and hopefully I can do that next season.
And you've got a T20 World Cup next summer at home. That must be something you're targeting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the T20 World Cup on your home ground, and something that you think about, but then you also think about what has to go in before that, and not to get too far ahead of yourself. But yeah, I think just thinking about working really hard this winter and putting in performances at the start of the season, hopefully will get me there.
And just watching on the World Cup as it's going on at the moment and reflecting on it, what are your sort of thoughts on it from the whole sort of competition? Is Australia still the team to beat? Because they were almost struggling against Pakistan the other day.
Yeah, it's been interesting actually, and interesting watching the girls play, and obviously different teams under different situations, and how different teams perform in the high pressure situations. I think India, South Africa today, for example, I think it was good to watch. Reacher hit some absolute bombs. But yeah, no, it's an interesting competition, and I don't know what's going to happen. So it'll be really cool to see what happens.
But you'd like England to win it, and then you can help celebrate back in the team next year.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thanks, Maya.
No, thank you.
I'm here with Mahika. Go on, Mahika. The PCA Awards, obviously a time to reflect on 12 months. How do you do it from your point of view in terms of Lancashire? What a successful year you've had.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're buzzing because obviously we won 2 out of the 3. I wasn't actually involved in the first one, but I got to be part of the second win, the Metro Bank 50 over cup. So yeah, I mean, I think we tried to get as many of us here tonight, and hopefully it'll be a great night.
And it has been a special year and a big year for the women's game. Obviously we've seen a change in the development of women's cricket, and the figures have been good for people watching the game, following the game. We must be really pleased how that's gone the last 12 months.
Yeah, 100%. We've all been talking about it. There's been all these stats about how the viewership of this year's competitions have been so high, the highest ever, which has just been amazing to see. And yeah, hopefully it can just keep going up and up from here.
And in that Lancashire team, we know you've got your mate Kate Cross. It must have been great fun being involved in a team with her.
Yeah, 100%. I think opening the bowling with someone like Kate Cross, it doesn't get much better than that. And yeah, just getting to learn from her, getting to play with her, and just everyone in the team. It's just been great. I've really enjoyed my time this year.
And you, in terms of your development, obviously, you've had a bit of a chance with England as well. Is that something you're still obviously very much in your sights, isn't it? Having a regular place in that England team.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I'm right now I'm at uni actually at Loughborough, so it'll be good because I can train at the centre and just try and get better this winter, keep improving, and hopefully work my way back into that England team.
And are you watching what's happening out there in India and Sri Lanka at the moment, and enjoying how the girls are getting on and following the World Cup?
Yeah, I watched the first game, the England-South Africa game the other day, and that was just, I feel like I turned it on and then it was time to turn it off again, but it was great to see them doing so well. I missed the other one because I had a lecture, but yeah, still it's great that we've got 2 wins on the board, and hopefully this could be the year that we win the trophy again.
And does that make you even keener though, watching the team out there thinking, gosh, I'm not far away from playing in tournaments like that?
Yeah, watching it's really motivating because obviously I play with all of them, so I'm really happy for them, but then at the same time I want to be in that team, and it's nice to see that they're doing well because it's only good for the confidence of the whole team and to sort of to improve us all. So yeah, I can't wait for them to come back and to learn from them and to just keep improving.
And of course there's a World Cup in England next summer. That's definitely a carrot for you. Yeah,
100%. I think it's something that I've got my eye on, and it'll be good to play in it. Yeah, I think the winter is going to look really good, and it'll be good to just get a good block of training in because last winter I was injured, so I wasn't able to get that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I stay fit this season.
And just juggling those studies and playing, how do you sort of find that?
Well, I did my A-levels. I finished them in 2023, last year, June 2024. So I've had a gap year, and it was nice. It was nice to focus on cricket, but I think that I play best when I've got something else going on, something to sort of have alongside my cricket, because otherwise I feel like I'll put too much pressure on my cricket. So I think it'll be really good for me, and just good to be around Loughborough as well, because obviously that's where the cricket centre is.
Well, listen, good luck with the winter, good luck with the summer next year, and have a good night tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's Mahika Gore looking ahead to the Women's T20 World Cup taking place in England next summer. As far as England's men are concerned, their T20 World Cup takes place in February, the culmination of quite a special winter, with England, of course, playing in New Zealand, the Ashes, before they head to India and Sri Lanka. Leading the England team in New Zealand, and of course a key part of the Ashes team now as vice-captain, is Harry Brook, and I spoke with him about his last 12 months.
Yeah, it's been an amazing summer. Obviously, we had an amazing Test series. There's been a lot of good county championship played around the country, and the 100 was an amazing year as well. So all in all, it's been a fabulous summer, and yeah, a good night to top it off.
And for you, in terms of a winter ahead, little matter of the Ashes and captaining a team at a World Cup, I mean, how exciting is that going to be?
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be one hell of a trip. We fly tomorrow, and yeah, everybody's looking forward to the challenges ahead, and yeah, hopefully we come away with a bit of silverware.
And how is it possible to sort of get your head around, you know, leading a team in New Zealand, an Ashes, a World Cup, trying to sort of work and focus on those different things? Are you able to sort of compartmentalize those okay?
I think that's why it's key to have little periods of time of reflection and rest and recover, and get your head around what's about to come. Obviously, we've got New Zealand first in this white ball series, which is going to be a challenge in itself. Personally, that's all I'm thinking about at the minute, and then obviously we've got the Ashes after that, which yeah, we'll think about when we get there. But yeah, it's going to be a big task, and we're all really looking forward to it.
Vice captain now of the England Test team for the Ashes. How did you take that news, and how pleased are you about that?
If I'm being brutally honest, I don't have to do much. Everybody knows what Stokes is like. He's an incredible leader. The way that he captains and the way that he does everything on and off the field, he's awesome. So I'm looking forward to working alongside him. But yeah, I'm not expecting to do much.
But you know that you're an injury away from leading England in an Ashes Test match.
I'm not thinking about that. I have complete faith in Stokes getting through all 5 tests. We know that he's an absolute warrior, and he'll try his hardest, and I'm sure that he'll be there at the end.
Australia could be without their captain potentially. What do you think in terms of boost for England would that be if Pat Cummins isn't there?
Yeah, obviously he's a phenomenal bowler. He has been for so many years now. He's got incredible skill at high pace, and yeah, if he's not there, that's a bit of a bonus for us. But they have a hell of a bowling lineup. They've got lots of amazing bowlers in their ranks as well. So I'm sure they'll draft someone in who's not equally as good, but is a very skillful bowler and high pace as well. So yeah, we can't take anybody lightly, and like I said, we're just looking forward to the series.
There seems to be a lot of expectation on England this time, and almost that feeling, well, if Pat Cummins isn't there and that sort of thing, are England, you know, not favourites, but they've got a real great chance? Is that the sort of feeling in the group?
Yeah, we're obviously confident going out there. We're always confident wherever we go, and we're looking forward to the challenge which they present. But like I said, I'm completely focused on New Zealand at the minute, and the challenges that Australia face are after New Zealand, and I've got that to come first.
And just last question, with your sort of Northern Superchargers hat on, we've heard the news last couple of days that Andrew Flintoff's not coaching the team. How big a blow's that?
Yeah, disappointing for Fred to not be there next year, but for a man like Fred to not be there next year is disappointing. But yeah, it's still an amazing competition to be part of, and I'm looking forward to what them challenges produce as well.
Well, that's Harry Brook. Another player playing a big part across England's winter will be the Durham fast bowler Bryden Carse, who certainly enjoyed a very interesting last 12 months.
You know, something popped up the other day where a year ago I was making my Test debut in Pakistan, and you know, obviously after reflecting over the last 12 months, it's been a pretty special 12 months for me and for this England side, and you know, over the next couple of months we've got, you know, some bigger challenges ahead of us, and something that we're really looking forward to.
And there's no bigger challenge than Australia, let's be honest, and Ashes. How much have you sort of dreamed of the opportunity to take part in a series like that?
Yeah, of course, you know, ever since I moved over to England, 12 years ago, it's something that's been a massive, driver and dream for me to be involved in. And yeah, it's something that I'm looking, massively forward to over the next couple of months, and cannot wait to get stuck in.
And as a fast bowler, those Australian pitches, how sort of exciting is that?
Yeah, of course, I've had a couple of Lions trips out there over the last 4 or 5 years. The wickets obviously are notoriously, have a bit of pace in them, and so fingers crossed that once I get out there and hit the ground running, some of my attributes will hopefully suit that style of cricket.
A bit of pace, Cars, Wood, Archer, Tongue. My word, that's mouth-watering, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we're blessed at the moment with a group of fast bowlers in our squad that can adapt to any situation or any type of wicket that we get thrown to, and yeah, it's exciting. Look, we've got a group. I've said before that there's a group of fast bowlers in the country at the moment, 9-10 bowlers, that are bowling pretty quickly. So it's pretty exciting for English cricket.
And is it sort of friendly competition between you? Know who's bowling fast, who's bowling better, or is it just sort of complement each other?
Look, I think the squad and the environment, that Baz and Stokesy have tried to create has created guys to, continuously support each other's success and just drive each other. And I think when there's competition in any squad that you play in, I think it's quite healthy, and it's something that everyone probably just thrives off each other.
And the final word goes to the winner of the PCA Men's Player of the Year, Jordan Cox.
Getting voted by your peers to get the award of best player is incredible. If you look at some of those people on the board, it's it's Joe Root, it's Johnny Bear, so it's people that have achieved a lot in the game. So to get recognition and to be on that board with them is pretty incredible.
And it's recognition for your all-round game, isn't it? For red ball, for white ball, international cricket at the end of the summer and that sort of stuff. Does that make it even more special?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's just what I would do is play Test cricket. I've said now twice that I would give back, my ODI and 50 over cap just to play Test cricket. It's something that I've dreamed of as a little boy, and it's something that I still want to achieve. So, New Zealand was so close, but yet so far. So it's about getting back on that horse and scoring runs. So, it's road to recovery in a way.
The fact you processed that, though, from, as you say, you were literally a freak injury away from making that Test debut, and you've turned that around to Player of the Year, in itself, that's an achievement.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? People go, you have good luck and you have bad luck. My bad luck, unfortunately, has been a bit more common than other people's. So hopefully, I get a good luck for the next couple of years.
But you are close, that's the thing, isn't it? And you're going to be in Australia with the Lions, and injuries can happen because it's happened to you. You're not that far away. Are you going to Australia with the Lions thinking, okay, here's my chance to show Brendan and Ben, if something happens, I'm ready to take up a place?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going there to, show them, first hand what I can do with red ball cricket. I haven't played against Stokes in a red ball game, so he other than watching me on, NV play, he wouldn't have seen me live. So, and probably the same with Baz. So it's, going out there and showing what you can do in the flesh, and then going, yes, we like him, or maybe he's not for us. So, but I'm worth to take that risk.
And you said Test cricket's your thing. How about Ashes cricket? Is that the absolute pinnacle for you?
Yeah, well, especially because my mum's Australian, so I would absolutely love to thump him.
So come on, if you're over there, and even if you're playing or not, and England do win, what's the relations going to be like in the household then with your Australian mother?
Well, that's my only problem. I reckon all my family are from Australia, so by my dad's side. So I've got half and half, but I've got a lot of Australian relatives. So I can't imagine they'll be cheering for England, but they might be cheering for me personally, but I don't know. So it's going to be a weird one. So there might be an interesting Christmas.
Well, listen, congratulations on an amazing summer, and if you do get the chance, all the best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.